we'll get the recording going. And three, two, one. Okay, very good. So we're here tonight, and I'm kind of double dipping here. I'm doing the Facebook Live within our BLBB group. No, I wasn't. So there we go. Now we're learning. So we're here tonight, and I'm kind of double dipping here. I'm doing the Facebook. Okay, so now I go to, here we go. All right. Yes, we are double dipping. See, technology rears its ugly head on Tom. So tonight I have both our Facebook Live going on in our group, and I also have it going on Zoom. And the nice part about Zoom is, ladies, can you see my screen, the imperfect action versus perfect inaction?
Yes.
Can you see that? Awesome. Well, very good. So I'm really going to go for it tonight. We're going to even, now this is way out of my comfort zone. Check this out. Whoop. Here we go. Here we go. Well, we got some really good information tonight, and I'm going to really like sharing it with you, because I have procrastinated on many things, and I still continue to, even though I have a lot of answers for it and how to overcome it. So the more I do this, the better I get. And the imperfect action is, action takers are rewarded. And perfect inaction, of course, is procrastination. And how the whole thing is you never get rid of procrastination. We all do it in some form and fashion. Some do it more than others. Some do it to a greater degree than others. And some people really manage it very, very well. And we'll get to how you can do it. But first of all, I wanted to share some thoughts and solutions about the largest nation in the world, and that's procrastination. And what is procrastination, and why do we all do it? Well, I grabbed this definition out of the American Heritage Dictionary. Procrastination is irrational, and it's a very special type of postponement. The official definition from American Heritage is to put off doing something, especially out of habitual carelessness or laziness. Raise your hand if you can agree with me on that one. But Merriam's dictionary goes even a step further. Goes even a step further, and it's to put off intentionally the doing of something that should be done. So there's judgment there, right?
So, because there's a football game on, man.
Exactly. So we'll get done here quick, so all y'all can watch that football game. Who's playing tonight?
No.
Who's playing tonight?
No, but I don't think anybody. I'm just mean. I usually procrastinate because there's a football game on, and then I don't do what I'm supposed to.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Watch my game and fall asleep.
I gotcha. Okay, now that I'm on eraser here, give me a moment. Here we go. Okay, I'm not sure I like that methodology, but putting off intentionally the doing of something that should be done. Laundry, cooking, work in the yard, those type of things. And the Old English Dictionary gets closest to the irrational, dark heart of the word. And it defines procrastination as a postponement, often with the sense of deferring through indecision. when early action would have been preferable, or as in deferring action, especially without good reason. Okay, how many of us have ever done that? You know, sometimes it takes me longer to figure out my procrastination than it would have to get the damn thing done to begin with. You know,
Yep. Yep.
where's the logic in that? So I am of the mind that my procrastinations, I spelled it wrong there, oops, there went my perfect day, are based from fears of both failure and success, control or the lack of control, which is really weird, and laziness. Okay, but it becomes habit forming. The more you do it, the more you continue to do it. And that's really the worst part of it is I get overwhelmed by the amount of tasks and work I have in front of me. So instead of attacking those tasks and working in small timed daily segments, I go, oh shit, I can't get everything done today that I must do. Why even try? At least I can control my trying. Now, how twisted is that? Just writing that down was exhausting. If you've ever seen me type, I got 2 good fingers out of 10. So I think I need a nap because it wears on you. It wears on you. And isn't it sad that we want to be in control of something? And all we're really controlling is our procrastinating abilities and habits. So procrastination is an addiction. Here's another definition. It is because it feels good to put off what makes us uncomfortable. Even if it's just for a few moments, the act of putting off something that doesn't give us immediate satisfaction gives us a boost of endorphins. Procrastination is a form of addiction. Want me to read that again?
No.
Wow, no.
I don't want to hear it again.
Well, sorry, but that's the sad truth. And I have a copy of this for everyone to, at the end of this, I will put it into the Facebook group and I'll send it to your emails as well. But that definition right there, that addiction that is procrastination, makes a whole lot of sense. So it's a bodily function, especially when we make it a habit. And at our age, I mean, I realize Jan is a whole lot younger than any of us in this room,
Not really.
including the dogs.
Yeah.
We'll just go with that. So
Not really. Thank you.
You're welcome. With that being said, how do we overcome the addiction of procrastination? The best way I've found it, and Rose is a freaking champion about doing this, by turning your procrastinations into daily, small, attainable habits and turn those habits into goals. Writing it down, giving yourself windows of time to do specific things, breaking your day down into hour or 2-hour increments is the best way to do this. You can implement this habit by regularly setting SMART goals. And the acronym for SMART is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay. And then at the end of it, you put on things that make you feel good. So me, on one hand, I go out and fuck around and pedal my bike and exercise and then come back to do the work. Guess what? The work should be done first. And then, me, I go, man, I'm really feeling a little serotonin low today. I need to go out and get some sunshine. So no, as I get more disciplined, I can do that. But then there's food after the bike ride and, oh man, I'm a little tired. And oh, here we go again. Here's that cycle of procrastination. So here's how this works. There are 6 W questions within specific out of the 5: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. first of all, specific, there are 6 W questions for specificity. Ooh, that wasn't bad. Okay, who, what, where, when, which, and why. Okay, who is involved? What do you want to accomplish? Where will you complete this goal? And that can be a when as well, because we'll talk about the specificity of a goal and the timelines with it. The when is, where do you want to do it? Which is, which requirements and constraints might get in your way, not including yourself. And the why is, why are you doing it? Okay, so here's an example of a specific goal. On May 16th, I will deliver a powerful 15-minute presentation to my boss, giving an update on the Nexus project. Okay, this example shows a complete lack of ambiguity, because guess what, folks? If we're ambiguous about it, what will happen? Procrastination sneaks back in, and that damn cycle goes on and on and on. So at the end of the 16th of May, you'll know whether or not it was achieved. Okay, so the M, the second aspect of a smart goal setting, is to create an outcome that can be measured. This to me is really the key to all of this. At some point, you want to know without a doubt that you've reached a goal. And part of my procrastinations is the goal is this big and I haven't identified steps along the way. That's where the small daily incremental victories, successes, whatever you want to call them, those measurements in time along the way, can reach out to May 16th, and you work your way back every 30 days, every 40 days, every however many days you determine. If you can do it get it down to a daily basis, I must do this, this, and this, or just this, that has been a success. So now I get to go to Dairy Queen, but but those micro commitments and those micro successes are really where you just keep on building upon them and build your endorphins and serotonins and all that other good sort of stuff that we'll speak about in the second phase of imperfect action versus perfect inaction. So if you were to just say, give a speech, it's not a measurable outcome. On the other hand, deliver a 15-minute speech is something you can quantify, even on a little level, even if it wasn't done by the 16th of May. So we must get ultra specific with these goals. Small as they may be, a goal is still a goal. And don't just say you'll learn public speaking. Instead, create a series of metrics along that path that focuses on your continuing improvement. And we must understand there's going to be some days where you come home and you're wiped out and you got a head cold and you got 3 other things that didn't get attained that day, and you want to just go, all right, today's a white flag day. Tomorrow, here's the first thing I'm doing. And then you better damn well do that. Otherwise, you can't keep putting it off 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, or a week later. That stopping and starting will wear you out quicker than anything else. So let's get to attainable now. You must make sure that these goals are attainable. You want to set the ones that are challenging but can be accomplished within your realm and your scope. If you're expecting to get a project done in 8 hours, that in 2 hours, you got to set yourself up for success. You're not doing anybody any good by biting off more than you can chew. So using the example above, you shouldn't set a short-term goal of speaking at a national conference if you've never delivered a speech in public before. Unless you're going to drink 3 glasses of wine and do it in front of Mickey down on the tramway at Disneyland, then nobody cares. But if that's one of your goals, is to speak at a national conference, we got to build up to it. So a better goal would be to give a great speech to a small crowd, or at a local Toastmasters event, or doing what I'm doing here and now. Okay, the more you do it, the more you learn each time. Every time you do it, this imperfect action here today is already a success for me. Having you folks here on it with me and interacting with me is icing on the cake. And please, I'm always up for constructive criticism, or, I mean, throw it at me, you know. Always I can do is be the best I am right here and now. So I appreciate those positive and not so positive learning lessons as we progress. So I'm giving you folks permission to do this exact same thing within the confines, within the culture, within the ramifications of our group, Better Living for Baby Boomers. So that doesn't mean you should avoid going after the big goals. And that doesn't mean that a year from now, I'm going to be doing this same thing. Okay. We must build on whatever it is we're creating and give our message to the masses, in my humble opinion. So whether you accomplish something, whenever you accomplish something, creating a new, more challenging, you must create a new, more challenging goal. You got to push the envelope with what you think is possible with your life and your calling. Perhaps in a year or two, you'll find yourself on stage at that national conference, especially when we get to the end of this and we see how we can hold ourselves accountable every day. So the R in this is relevant. Every goal should be relevant to what you want. You must get your focus down and narrow. It shouldn't be pushed on you by parents, by a spouse, by friends, even by your boss. I mean, that's a little bit different ramification in the here and now. But if she or he is throwing this at you, there better be somewhere that you can learn how to do this in a proper form and fashion. That is a way. I mean, are you an auditory learner? Are you a kinesthetic learner? I mean, the boss, if he or she's any kind of a boss or leader, should be playing to your successes from the get-go. So when your goals, you must be the one that's interested in taking action. Our dog doesn't like the daylight savings time either. Yeah, we got coyotes in the back.
Oh.
So, and Rosie was taking a rest, but my guess is she's not resting any longer. So you'll need to be the one who's interested in taking the action or the task at hand. If you're not all in with it, it's going to show. That will come through in more subtle procrastinations to begin with, it before you stand there and stomp your foot like you're 11 and go, not only no, but hell no, I ain't doing it. But when your goals come from a personal passion, when it's yours and you have ownership in it, it's much easier to complete them on a daily basis. Otherwise, that mental fatigue gets there. And we'll speak about that. So the last part of this is time bound. You must tie your goals to a specific time frame. And there's two types of goals to be setting. One short-term goal for the next month, one short-term goal is for the next month, and one long-term goal for the 3-month mark. And I really like those 90 days and 30 days. It allows you to break them into increments of either 30 from the 90 or 45, 30, 15, 10, 5, whatever it is you have to do. You have a good sequence of numbers for attainability in between them for yourself. So the nice thing about this outline is you can really jump in and say, well, this works for me and this doesn't, and I'm going to modify this. So this is completely malleable for you. So these immediate goals help you stay on the forefront of your mind and makes them much more achievable. Again, if we're going with the goal, it is not, I'll give a speech. Instead, it sounds like this. On May 16th, 2020, I will deliver a powerful 15-minute presentation to my boss. I would suggest behind those quotes that you write down that you sign your name and date it when you write it down. Okay. That kind of accountability is very, very important. In fact, it should be a part of every decision you make in your life. goal setting is not just for work. Okay. So you're trying to overcome this procrastination and manage it in segments of time. So you need to look at each task, see how it fits into your long-term plans. So this is for your own personal education, both formal and informal. I mean, every day you read, you're learning something new. I would suggest it's not just history books, because you can't rewrite history. I mean, you can, but then it's your own figment of history. But education, both formal and informal, your career or your business, health and fitness, hobbies and recreation, your relationships, both at home and at work, your religion or your spiritual awareness, financial and public service. What do you give back to others? But this is not something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Let's just look at one of them. And then when you have something for one of them, let's look at another and another and another. You don't want to get yourself overwhelmed on, oh shit, I haven't volunteered in 25 years. What am I going to do now? That's not what that is for. That's just a basic outline on other attitudes and aptitudes you have within your life. So it's better to create goals for areas of your life that you have a current personal significance with. So with that being said, you must understand the difference between two types of goals and how they can impact your capacity to get things done. First are the performance goals. We're not talking about running a 5-minute mile. Okay. Where you focus on the effort, not the outcome. That's what a performance goal is. And this is really the one we want to start with. While you like to hit a specific milestone, it's not considered a failure if you don't hit this mark. Okay, that's the key to that whole statement there. It's not a failure if you don't hit it. The imperfect action of doing this is the key to the success. Okay, a performance goal would sound like this. On June 1st, I will have completed a 15,000 word book published on Amazon's Kindle platform. Okay, and that's easy for you, Jana. You could do that, no problem. Boom. All right. No pressure at all. All right. If you only get to 13,972 words, we'll call it good. How's that?
Okay.
But the outcome goals are different. Okay, that's where you must achieve a specific measurable outcome. These would be more work related or business related. While that performance is important, your primary concern is to hit that number. If you don't, then the goal is considered to be a failure. In my mind, if your goal is to hit $372,000 in income next year and you only attain 2,900 or 297,000, still a success. All right. So, but that's the way my brain works. So you could adapt the above example like this. On June 1st, Jana will have an amazing Amazon Kindle book that generates an average of 10 sales a day. Okay,
Cool.
so that's a little bit different than on June 1st, I will have completed a 15,000 word book published on Amazon Kindle. Okay, do you understand the difference there?
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So for the most part, I recommend creating performance goals instead of those outcome goals. While it's important to develop the habit where you're pushing yourself and taking action on a daily basis, the outcome goals can get overwhelming if you don't hit those numbers and you're a very focused numbers person. Okay. The success is in the imperfect action. Regardless of what it is not a failure if you don't make those numbers. It's a stepping stone to how can I create mores in getting from the 297 to the 372 or whatever that may be. So here's how to use those SMART goals to fight your procrastinations. What is it you want to achieve in the next month? That's number one. And 1A is, what would you like to achieve in the next 3 months? So we shoot it out to 90 days. Okay. We bring that 90 days back, and what will make it inevitable for me to is what I want you to write down right now. I want you to put that in your mind as you look at how you're going to set those goals. What will make it inevitable for me in the next 90 days to achieve a $1,500 a month bonus? Okay. What will make it inevitable for me to achieve 300 swings on the swing set without falling off in the next 90 days? Oh, I mean, plug it in however you want to, but what will make it inevitable for me to achieve in the next 90 days? So, number 2 is going to be write down the SMART goals for different areas of your life that I put up here: the education, career, health and fitness, hobbies and recreation, et cetera, et cetera.
And you're posting this document, right?
Only after you, aren't you writing these down for me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, no, I do have it for you. Absolutely.
I'm taking a picture with my phone.
I like it.
Look at the goal of mine.
Are you saying you don't trust me? Is that what I'm feeling here?
No, she might be. I just don't write that fast.
Yeah, well, it was painful for me to type it. I had to put Husker oil on a couple times. I was afraid I'd get a callus. So create an action plan for each of your goals, and we'll give a little bit more on this later. Review these goals on a daily basis. So you want to have them small, you want to have them measurable. And figure out how each new project relates to your goal. There's my favorite part. What this will do for you is it's going to eliminate or delegate anything that doesn't match your current goal. So now what's big and huge and overwhelming, now we're bringing it down to what are my daily positive actions, my DPA, to make this happen. Okay. It may be one thing, it may be 3 things, it may be 5 things, but let's at least get one of them done each day. Okay. And at the end of the 3 months, evaluate your overall successes. And that's why with the 90 days, if you break it down, you're at the halfway point and you go, holy crap, I haven't got enough done. I really must step it up for the next 45, or man, I'm kicking ass here. These have been easy for me to handle. Now I can move forward with these other things with more confidence, with more time savings, those type of things that it really allows you to hone in. So now we get to, you evaluate your overall successes with it, and you get to create new goals and make them more challenging the easier the other ones become. And maybe after the first 90 days, it's still not easy for you. That's okay. Let's just reinvent the last 90 days for the next 90 days, or 45 or 30 or whatever. The beauty of this is an outline. This is malleable. And this is the ground floor. We're building a house here. So we're going to put a great foundation down that you can continue to come back to and refer to. When it becomes too easy, well, then let's ramp it up a little bit. So it's easy to procrastinate when a task doesn't seem important or it's not in your heart to do it. Unfortunately, this attitude can have a negative impact on your projects. I digress there only because if it's easy to procrastinate when a task doesn't seem important, then we must ask, why isn't it important? If it's something that is in your heart, what else is in there that's making the muddy water a little murkier, right? Either you start a task or you don't. And when you come to that point, you have to make the decision. What is it I'm really doing here? What is it I want to do? With smart goal setting, you create a list of what's currently important in your life. Then wherever and whenever you feel tempted to start something new, you'll have a framework to make that intelligent decision. Does it serve me or does it not? Either the task is important enough to start or it should be avoided at all costs. Isn't that powerful? You get to delegate what you don't see as necessary and important. So what it really does is it eliminates the excuse I feel overwhelmed and have too much to do, which is what I gave you about me to begin with. Okay. So who's already or who has ever felt overwhelmed by a to-do list? There are times we're all trapped by the amount of stuff that needs to be completed. Do the best to get everything done, but often it seems like there aren't enough hours in the day to do it, especially now that daylight's compressed upon us, damn it. So usually comes from how you process ideas and action plans. So overwhelm isn't really due to the number of uncompleted tasks. Any incomplete thought will occupy your mind until you either do it, attempt to do it, or write down a plan of how you'll do it. The operative action verbs in there is write it down. Okay. In other words, if you're not regularly emptying the ideas in your head, and we all get them, I mean, we get 60,000 plus a day, but 95% of them are the same ones you had the day before. Think about that. Okay, so we gotta throw a switch there. Okay, how is it serving you? Let's write these ideas down. Otherwise, in other words, you're not regularly emptying the ideas in your head. They will negatively impact your ability to stay focused on the present tasks, especially if you're jumping into a new situation, a new company, a new position, a new you. So emptying your head onto a sheet of paper and dating it allows for new ideas to be created. Out with the old, in with the new. There's a reason we're doing this 62 days before the New Year's resolution time. We're getting a jump start on this. By the time we get to that, we're going to be rocking and rolling and have created some really cool new things. In essence, metaphorically speaking, your lake of ideas, in good friend of mine, good mentor of mine calls it thought masturbation. Okay. You're emptying your head of your thought masturbations. Your lake becomes a river. By writing it down and dating it, you get to release it and come back to it. It's beautiful. It's so simple. It's freaking amazing. But this effect directly affects procrastination because it often causes us to avoid taking action when we have 100 other things to do every day. So the solution is to create the idea capture habit where you never let a thought go unrecorded and dated. Has to be in that recording because you don't want to have a beautiful brain thought, write it down, and come back to it 6 months later and go, where was I when I did this? So the more descriptive, the dates you put down, the time, where you are, you're at the lake, you're at Disneyland, you're in Mallorca, wherever you may have been, you can take yourself back there. That's the beautiful thing of it, because we're constantly bombarded with ideas. I told you 60,000 a day. And it's coming to us mostly subconsciously. It'll pop up in random moments, probably when Wendy was out working in the yard on Saturday, when you're exercising, mowing the grass, driving, painting a room, when you're relaxed enough that your body, mind, and spirit come together and are congruent. Boom, here it comes. Write it down. So other times you'll wake up in the middle of the night Put it next to your bed. Okay, no matter when the inspiration strikes you, you need to put it into a single central location. Write them down and put a date and a time on them, please. 2 ways to capture those ideas. If you're old fashioned like Tom, simply carry the notebook wherever you go. Use it to record your thoughts and ideas that pop up. So I take these, and when this fills up, I put it in here. And then I keep these for references. I look back at this at the end of the week, which when every day is Saturday, that can be difficult, but you still do it. So if you're a techie, congratulations, all you that are. The next option would be Evernote, which is available on a variety of desktop platforms and mobile apps. Okay, the tool allows you to capture information. You can actually do it in voice recordings, pictures, personal note, and web page snippets. So what's great about this tool is you can easily organize each piece of information for future instant retrieval. So wherever you put it, I mean, I'm recopying it, which puts it in my brain again, allows me to release it and bring other thoughts together with it, is why I do and how I do what I do. So you may feel it's corny to write things down. It's a habit you may not have right now, but you'll be amazed at the usefulness of it. All right. We're down into overtime. If I may go for another 3 minutes, please.
Go.
Okay, very good. Then we'll get you guys back to the rest of your evening. Do this daily and you'll have a clear mind that allows you to completely focus on the current project and tasks at hand. So easy to do. Do it every day. Do it. 5 minutes every day. Do it. Keep it with you. When it pops up, do it. You'll be amazed that people will ask you questions about it, which provokes even more spontaneity and thought creation. Almost becomes a mastermind. As we've discussed, procrastination comes from the feeling of being overwhelmed. Hard to concentrate when you're worried about 100 other things. With the idea capture habit, you've created a relaxed feeling because every thought will be completed at the appropriate time. So, how do you develop it? You carry the tool with you. Add every thought the second it pops in your head. Go through these notes once a week. Make a plan for taking action on every idea. What will make it inevitable to? It increasingly becomes easier and more thought-provoking. It's been said that everyone at some point in their life gets $1 million idea. It would suck if you got it and you couldn't record it, right? And you forgot about it 6 weeks later. I mean, Wendy, you would have invented Velcro. I know it. You didn't write it down. So whether or not the $1 million idea is true or not, what it does for you on a regular basis, the art of completion, tasks on time feels so wonderful. Take yourself back into time, the last time it's happened. How good does it feel to have the yard project done? Maybe weather got in the way. Maybe it was 6 weeks later than what you originally planned. But how darn good does that feel? Okay. What I do know is that great ideas are a common experience. When you share yours with others, when you write it down, when you gift it to someone else, the mastermind, it will provoke new thoughts for them as well. So what is uncommon is becoming one of those nerdy people who meticulously records their thoughts that pop up. So let's be one of the 1% and not the other 99. Okay, please, let's develop this habit in conjunction with a few others that we have discussed tonight and help you become better at taking immediate action in your life. That becomes the habit and not the procrastination. Okay, so let's be the key to releasing procrastination is creating imperfection every day and leaving the perfect inaction behind. So, that being said, it's time for us to go. What else do you ladies have tonight? Questions, comments?
No, this is good. I tried to do this at work, but it doesn't always happen because I've got 50 people knocking on my door. But
Sure.
at home, it's easier to get these things taken care of, especially now because we're leaving on Friday to go to North Carolina.
I know. I'm pumped
We
for
gotta
you.
get this stuff done here at home before we go. So
Absolutely.
this is
Absolutely.
awesome.
Well, I have this saved. I will put it into the Better Living for Baby Boomers group. If you'd like, I can put it to your emails as well. That way we have it in 2 spots for you.
Sure.
But this is a start small. This is lay your foundation well. And this is as simple as just, and if all you want to start with is your goofy thoughts throughout the day, do that, or funny antidotes. But for me, and I'm in shorts most of the year, except it's damn cold again already. But this fits in my back pockets really well. It fits in coat pockets. It's just nice and easy to have. I have several of them, so I just write in one at a time, and then I write the dates on the inside till they got filled up. And then I just go to the next one and I keep them. But to take these and add it to a larger volume is really good for me too, because now I'm writing it down again. And the date and the time, and even if you want to even put the place down, that's even better yet, because now the more senses you can activate when you're coming to these, not premonitions, but just these thoughts, it's amazing how they will piece themselves together for you and sequence themselves. And sometimes you don't see it unless you're looking at it and going, holy crap, that was really cool, because 1 + 1 is really 2, and it took 3 weeks to get there, but who cares? So, but make this your own and look through it, and let's do this so that you start it at home and build it from there. Because non-verbally, the message you're sending to everybody else at work will be so damn powerful. They're going to be going, again, Wendy, what's your secret? What are you doing? Because they'll be able to see it with you. But to bring all 5 senses together while you're doing this is extremely powerful. I mean, when you start writing and you can smell funnel cakes, how freaking cool is that? Right? So yeah. So thank you very much. Get back to your evening. And I appreciate you both being here. And as those thoughts about this come to your mind, give a shout. Let's improve this.
Okay.
All right. Thank you
All
much.
right.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.